You already know what it is. It's Bodega Babies.
Yeah, bro. Do you know what? Sometimes, oh man. Yeah, because it's. I'll let you know my decision why I did that. Can you sit there?
So now,
On this couch, on this couch.
come on, I'm trying to talk.
No. I'm just saying for like the point. No, of course you can sit there right now. Yeah.
Okay,
Just make sure you have the sign. Look at the sign.
There's no.
No, it's the sign, the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Speaking to the logo, I see.
Yo, what going on? It's your boy Big Daryl, and I'm back in the building. You already know what time it is. Let's get it. That I know.
Pause. Boris, it's you here. Nah, you on the chair.
You came last, bro.
Nah, nigga, I'm here, bro. You ate the meat, bro, so sit down. Sit your meat ass here, bro.
I'm not doing you anyhow. Y'all sort yourselves out. No. Like, one of those two, y'all two gotta sit there.
I mean, who's supposed to put this low? Who come last to take that seat? That should be the low.
Yeah, from next week.
Right, that's the rule then.
From next week, my guy.
Who came last?
Guests. New guests should get the best seats.
Exactly.
That's why he's there. That's why he's there.
Good. Who came last to sit down there?
Last in the...
Bro, you know there's a saying, Ninjano they carry last.
Ninjano they
I'm
carry
never
last.
baby. I'm never last. You want me to clean it for you? Alright, cool. I got you. It's clean now. Oh, you want me to use paper? Okay.
You want a cushion on that? Like, get a cushion.
Yeah, I got you. It swarms.
So Yummy had to share a mic, bro. You just won this last time. This podcast.
No way. Chelsea
Nah, because
lost.
I can't.
You love you 16 to the table.
Yeah, nigga. But I didn't drop 3 points though.
No, you can't say anything to them. Like, you gotta calm down. Like, you should read the club, read the room.
Did you see the post when Bruno Fernandes, when your girlfriend?
Yeah, she said Bruno Fernandes.
Bro, the comments are like, bro, you shouldn't be doing this. You're 15. Bro, what the fuck? We're fighting education and you're here making jokes.
Making jokes. All right, what's good people? Welcome to the Bodega Babies Podcast. We have a Serie A special today. We're primarily going to be talking about the Serie A, but we're going to dibble and dabble in the Prem because that's what we do. All right, we have a special guest in the building. He goes by the name of Boris.
Hello.
Some of you know him as Akeem, but to us, he's a brother. What's up, Boris? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. I was unable to come in the first episode because of work, but today was a coincidence. My day was really okay, and the last week was really tough, but I'm happy to be here and spending this time with you guys.
We're happy to have you.
Happy to have you, bro. And those who are listening, Boris is an AC Milan fan, so he'll be primarily representing them. So if he gets something wrong, it's on him.
Yeah,
it ain't on Bodega. It ain't on Bodega. And we obviously have Leon, who's representing Roma. Those are the two main Serie A clubs we'll be looking at today. All right, we good?
Oh, good.
And then we obviously have the usual suspects. We have Dillian representing 15th place in the league, Manchester United.
Briefly 16.
And we also have
lost, man.
And we also have Noah representing
Chelsea.
the Blues.
The losers.
Chelsea.
What? Oh, I thought I heard Chelsea shit.
Bro, you shouldn't be talking like this. You shouldn't be talking like this.
Nobody laughed for a second, so that wasn't funny.
It wasn't meant to be funny, but it's known. Now it's on record.
Bro, calm down. You know what? I'm going to be impartial today with you. I'm going to be very calm.
Today he's not about United, man.
No, trust me, we'll get there. But there's a time for everything. The Bible says there's a time to reap and there's a time to sow.
Let's start with structure, because otherwise, bro, I'm trying to contain myself because I'm still close to Dillion. I'm trying to contain myself. Let's go.
All right, boys. If we look around right now, we look around the biggest clubs in football. What do we see? What's common? American money, right? Chelsea, United, Milan, Roma, Arsenal, and even Liverpool are all under American ownership. And what's the common theme? Chaos, confusion, and a lot of money being spent, but not a whole lot of success. Putting aside FSG, right, which is the Liverpool owners. Manchester United, been in decline since the Glazers took over. Chelsea,
Facts.
more money thrown around than sense. And they're stuck where we are right now. AC Milan, they finally got stability, but the Redbirds ownership has been more about balance sheets than silverware. Roma, Fredkin took over, gave Mourinho some freedom, but are they building for the future? We don't know. And Arsenal, they've made some progress, but it took a couple of years and protests to get Kroenke to even care. Trust me, we know that by watching AFTV. So the question is, are American owners actually improving the European game? Or are they treating these clubs like the NBA and the NFL franchises? Have they actually helped these clubs grow? Or have they just turned football into a business first, sport second?
Do you want to go?
Okay, you go ahead. Awesome. I know you have a lot to say because this is more of like your side of things, it's into the business side of
Bro,
football.
we're all, not even so, but we're all like,
we're all like
American ownership. At
Yeah.
this point,
Exactly.
so,
That's what we all have in common here
Yeah.
with the clubs we support, is that
Exactly.
we're all owned by Americans right now as we speak. Yeah.
I just want to like give my layman's football fan, perspective about like your perspective, from the business side of things, Leon. So the way I see it from my end is that it depends on the mentality of these owners. Let's say like Chelsea's owners, for instance, Bowley, for instance, he's got like this very, very American football mentality. It treats like also like the exchange, the market, everything like.
Who did you say?
Football, like the market.
Who? Bowley,
yeah.
yeah.
It treats like the players, the way it sets the team, the way it exchange players, the business it does, like everything. It's very American football, and that does not function in football, historically speaking, right? But you mentioned Arsenal, right? That's a good point because when you see the management of Arsenal is very, very different from that of Chelsea or that of like Roma or that of like other like American-owned clubs. Because I think it's okay, it's American-owned, but the way they manage the club is not really American. It's the way you manage the club that actually matters, So I think Chelsea is doing very, very bad, very, very poor in that sense,
I wouldn't put it on Bowley per se. I would put it on Clear Lake, put it on Bedard, put it on Massimiliano. I forgot his name. I might be pronouncing it. It's not even Italian, but he's Bowley. This is Chelsea's ownership.
Oh, okay.
Bowley is the chairman, but he's a minority stakeholder in the ownership of the actual club. The day-to-day runnings are we have Lawrence Stewart and Paul Will Stanley, who are our sporting directors, and they report directly to Bedadek Bali, who represents Clear Lake, who is the majority stakeholder of Chelsea Football Club, who represents Blueco. So the day-to-day runnings are by Bedard. Bowley, if we look at the beginning of when Chelsea was acquired by Bowley, you could tell what Bowley wanted. He brought in experience, and then we threw that out the window, and then we switched our model and went to what it is right now. Everyone we brought in that window is gone. Besides
that's
Sterling.
very American, right?
But Sterling. But I get what you're saying, but I'm saying we can't put it all on Bowley.
Yeah, I put it on him and his team and everybody that's up there on the table. It's the same Bowley because he's like, when it comes to Chelsea's ownership, he's like, this the name, he's the like our reference point, right? Yeah. Because he's the one that's his face is on the board. But I know there's like other people involved in there. But the thing is like, Chelsea has always been a club we've always had patience. Like, it doesn't seem like that, but we've always had patience. Like, come to look at our history. We've got like players, Drogba, we've had him for like a long time. Lampard, Joko, Ashley Cole, like who had
All the
J.
calls.
Cole.
With all the calls,
No,
man.
no, I said J. Cole. The rapper. I was Joe Cole. I meant Joe Cole.
For a second, I'm like, no, I'm tripping. I don't know.
Yeah.
Joe Cole, Ashley Cole, like we had like a set of players, even before then, over like the generation before then, for a long time, let them work and let them cook,
Yeah.
But it's like it's very American to like, you're not functioning right now, get off. It's very American.
But it's not
American.
different
I think
from
that's
our
very
system.
European too. Like,
Yeah.
that happens much more in football.
You
than-
don't change
than
the
Much
mentality.
more in Chelsea as well. We had
in
Roman, bro. You
American
didn't do your
sports,
job, you were
they're-
out.
They give coaches a lot more time to build from the ground up because
Yeah.
of how their system works. They have, they're more loose on their long-term vision.
Because they
Whereas
don't
here,
know.
if you don't get direct results, bro,
Yeah.
you're done.
It depends
Done.
though. Like for coaching, like I think in football, like coaches like of the previous generation did have much time, to work on their players and to like
yeah, definitely.
But right now it's not that way anymore. Like you see Manchester United, bro. You see Chelsea. Like
Roma had the same thing this
Roma
year.
had the same thing. That's what I'm saying. But it's all under American management, and it's very like American management to me, at least from my layman's point of view.
Okay, let's
You know,
shift
I
that
wanna,
to that then.
I think
Like
Milan
with AC
was
Milan
the
and
second
Roma.
manager too.
Like, what do you think with your current American owners, Redbirds?
The thing that I don't like, of course, is that the Americans don't have the same taste of football. And doing this in Italy is very different from doing this in England, for example. I think
Facts.
there's a huge difference because the fans and the culture of football in Italy is much more harsh on this kind of management, because we used to have the president who had a lot of money, who used to do the thing and build a team from the ground up or whatever. And buy the biggest players, the Berlusconi era was
Yep.
like really
30 years.
and
30
be
years.
competitive. But we lost that the moment, I believe, when the Americans came, but we had Maldini for a good amount, and Maldini is not somebody who lets people walk on his shoes and stuff like that. So he used to do also the transfers and the decisions in a way where, like, if you guys, the club that we want to take the player in, are not giving the price that they want, they're like, no. That was the mistakes he was doing, Maldini, as a head of how do you say it, AD
Operating,
Yeah, yeah.
operations, yeah.
because it was important for us to get the players, but in his way, it was a long-term kind of situation where, like, we understand that money in football is going like high and stuff like that. Most of the players that we want to get have like high prices, but this is Milan.
Yeah.
If you want to come here, you come for the good amount of price, not something like overrated. But
Yeah.
if with time, it would have worked, because when Maldini comes to you and be like, come to Milan, you're like, okay, let me
Of
think
course.
about it. Not only him, but
Yeah.
the club for itself. So it had an impact. But for the owners, which wanted a team that was built ready, in a sense where, like, we want to get a player, okay, let's put the money in and we get him. Maldini wasn't the fit, so they kicked him out. And I think
Yeah,
this
'cause
was a
financially you guys
huge
went-
mistake.
Yeah.
Because not only we had a breaking point from the administration and the team,
Yeah.
there's a breaking point, and this gap was filled in by Zlatan, who was just he's just finished his career as a player. He's a big persona, great for Americans.
Of course.
having him.
Marketing wise.
Yeah, this is what I'm a huge Zlatan fan. Don't get me wrong. As
Yeah.
a player, as his ego and stuff, what he was doing with his ego and his image for football worked.
Yeah.
But as a person who works in the managing stuff,
It's not
Is
good.
he the sporting director?
Yeah, his role is not that exactly. That's the thing.
Okay.
His role is between that and basically serving as red. What's the name of the administration?
Redbirds.
Yeah, as a figure, not really, but he's covering a little bit of everything. That thing is a little bit a problem for the build of the structure of a club,
Yeah.
because you need somebody who says that, okay, this is the coach I'm putting. If something goes wrong, I come here to speak. What happened to Fonseca? Fonseca is a great man. I mean,
Yeah.
personally wise and stuff like that, great.
Tearing it up in Saudi.
But it's not the coach we needed.
Yeah.
We needed somebody strong. And since the summer, a lot of mistakes were taken. If you see the last transfer, a lot of the players that we've had from the previous summer already like getting to be sent.
On that note, your
Yeah.
recruitment, what is your recruitment model? From the outside looking in, it looks like your
of
primary
the Premier League.
focus is
Chelsea players.
Chelsea, but it looks like it's focused on rejects,
Yes.
and if there's like uncertainty and like friction with other players from other clubs,
Let's
Milan
get them.
open doors and they get them.
Because this is what we can focus on right now, player-wise. We cannot, money-wise, the club is doing better. A few years back,
Yeah, of
we weren't
course.
doing good with
Yeah,
money.
yeah, yeah.
So that was an issue. We used to take like players very cheap because of that. Now we're not in a situation where money is a problem, but still we kind of have the same kind of approach to the players, because what Milan needs right now is somebody who's fighting. Milan never been a team like Atalanta, like Inter, who were strong and aggressive and stuff. We always have a style of play and a style of players that were chill. You understand?
Gattuso wasn't
But-
chill.
Yeah, Gattuso in itself, but even the coaches we had were the ones who were putting a little bit more character into it, and we
Yeah.
had a big present. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
all of these things of attitude were covered. Why did we call Zlatan? Why things changed when Zlatan came a few years back when Pioli was there? Because the dressing room needed something that was more than Pioli, and Pioli didn't have a hang of
Yeah.
it. So with him, that came. So the team was strong because of that. But think about it. Most of our players are young.
Facts.
We're young. It's a young team, but a young team without a backbone doesn't carry a whole season. If you had like somebody like stronger, you can understand, when the team goes down, like it's gonna be a little bit down, and then we're gonna get back up, because we have the experience, somebody who is teaching you how to get out of the difficult situation. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Speaking on young players, this is one similarity I see among all American owners. They're now focused on getting young players in the team and having less experience in the team, which they project their future on, like, let's get these players right now while they're young, but they forget that experience is also very, very important in football. It shows when you have all these young players with potential.
It's a stats game now.
As well.
But it's missing experience. In team like Chelsea, for example, in United, for example, I see the same thing. I see similarities in Milan and Roma as well.
Roma as well.
I wanna add like on that thing.
Shifting period, sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
We're kind of in that like shifting period where we're getting some young players, but like the older generation, the old guard are starting to like slow down a lot, and it's starting to be like a bit of a struggle. I mean, we signed Hummels this year. That's definitely not a young player. That's the experience. That's the backbone that we got, although he had a rough start, you know. But this is still what I'm saying about how Americans like to have this longer term vision.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
by
what I wanna chip
building
in,
around by building around young players. I think also the fact that football is much more expansive. Like, let's just talk about UEFA. Like the
Yeah.
European leagues are just there's so many more teams, so many more levels of teams. You know, it's not
Exactly.
like in the NBA. They're not competing against a G
It's
League or
finite.
anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a closed league. You know, this
Yeah.
is an open league. So I get why instant results are important, because you're competing against so many other teams. Whereas with the NBA or the NFL or whatever,
And there's
you know,
consequences to you losing.
yeah.
Whereas in the NFL and NBA, it's like there's an inset. You get incentivized. Even if you come last, you get the first draft pick.
That's the thing.
You know what I
Losing-
mean?
The only consequence of losing is you do better next year.
Exactly.
You
So
know,
it's like
that's like
Football is not like this.
no in football.
Yeah, but you go to the next
In football,
Yeah.
if you lose in football, then that's
Drop.
so much income. If you get relegated, so much income gone. The clubs are going to go into financial
Ruin.
turmoil
Yeah.
because they can't be paying their wages anymore,
anymore.
and you got to sell your players. Like, you know, you're probably going to sell them cheap because
And this
you
is
have the money.
And there's also a cap when you get relegated. Like, there's a cap to how much you can pay your. Like, everyone has like every professional contract is like there's a clause there where if we ever do get relegated, this is what you finna earn now, because we can't afford to be doing like what we're
it's
doing
for
in
their own safety,
at
yeah.
the first tier of football. So yeah.
This is what I want
And
to like chip in, you know, because like talks about like the long term game, right? So like the Americans like having that long term vision. To me, it's a rough part to like look at, right? Because like you said, the NBA is not like football is not like the NBA, right? So it's more competitive. You've got like different like areas of different competitions you have to play, like more to lose, you know, when it comes to football. So you can't really like play that NBA kind of long game, and that's what we see with Chelsea as well. That's what you see with Chelsea as well. Like, you bring in the young players, right? But you still have to sell them.
Yeah.
You have to sell them because they're not delivering. So that's where you still need like a kind of like in the middle, you know. So
that is so true, bro.
How do you?
That's such a good point.
How do you make this sustainable, right? Because you've got the old players that are like, okay, you've got to let them go because they're not giving you like that performance that you need
anymore
for all this competition. But at the same time, the youngins don't have like that
experience
and the time to grow as well with all this, right?
What's changing a little, at least for Milan, we saw with the Americans, is when I said that during the last like winter transfer window, we got in someone like Walker. For example. It's not only just the young players, but I believe the Americans understood with the last game we had in the Champions League that we lost against like that Serbian.
Bruges.
No,
it wasn't Bruges. I was at Atlanta. Sorry.
It's Dynamo
Zagreb. Yeah.
After that, I think they understood that okay, we had too many mistakes, and we brought in somebody like Walker. Same strategy of like players not doing well, maybe somewhere else and stuff like that. We keep that because we need it, but at the same time, on the right wing, we had for the longest time not the best players.
Yeah.
So we got him there because, of course, there's this thing where like if you take somebody from the Premier League and you put them in the Serie A, they're still gonna compete very hard because there's a different kind of like game. Yeah. But I believe Americans are starting to understand this because they are slowly adapting to that football, and they're understanding not only in Italy that there's need to be an appreciation and also look for the fans because this is what brings the brand.
Yeah, it's like
we don't have the stadiums like the Premier League teams have. It's all about like them, you know, bringing in the stuff. And I would love to have like a Como situation because it's very interesting.
We beat them, bro. We beat Napoli, bro. Oh man, it was so good.
Okay.
Yo,
this is a very good point, and one illustration that I can draw from that is like I do feel like maybe in the coming years they are understanding that okay, they do need experience in between these games, and why also focusing on the young ones. But one illustration I want to know is from Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso it's perfect, bro, because he's an American coach who came from the American football, come to Europe without the knowledge of football, but as time goes on, he began to adapt and understand that, okay, I can't approach it like this. We got to approach it the way football is meant to play, and he balanced the experience and also the youngins and whatnot. So I do feel like the American owners are learning about football as they're going, but for us as fans and for us as football fans and management, we don't have those. We don't have the patience for that.
The thing with the owners, sorry to think, because like you're making that example is like Ted Lasso's ownership is British, so they know the game. Like I know, but what these owners do when FSG came in, when Clear Lake and Bowley came in, what did they? Bruce Park gone. Bruce Park been there running things. Marina Granovskaya, who does our stuff, boom, gone. Like they just brought everything of their own, and don't take out the experience who know the game. I don't know how it works with I don't know how to pronounce Friedkin, right? Friedkin. I don't know how they when they came into Roma, how they like up there, who's managing, like did they remove all the people from prior?
There's always big changes, but I wouldn't be able to say who they brought in or who they didn't. I don't really remember that, but I wouldn't be surprised at the same time if there was like an overhaul, because that's just like the politics of the game.
Yeah.
At the same time, you know. But like it kind of ties back to what Boris was saying, in that Italian culture about everything beyond football is traditional. They're super
it's love.
traditional.
Yeah, the love is the primal thing.
So they're much more rigid to change than the clubs in the UK.
Yeah,
I think it depends on the level though. Like, okay, like obviously Italy,
get the mic closer. Yeah,
and obviously Italy, they're more like culturally grounded. You know, when it comes to football, like it's more into the culture compared to English.
Yeah.
But it used to be like that also in England. You know, just
I think it's still like that in England, bro.
England is modernizing. That's
exactly
the thing. When you asked earlier your original question, are the American owners ruining football?
Yeah.
I don't think they're necessarily ruining it. They're just changing it. And there's always going to be like a rough patch.
Yeah.
And England is just much more modern. Okay, even in everything, England is much more modern than Rome.
But is that change
than
good?
Italy.
Because I think switching
Yeah,
that change
That's where I'm saying where like it can't. Well, there's pros and cons, of course.
to everything.
The change.
Yeah.
This is the main thing. It's a business at the same time.
That's why I want to make my point.
The football clubs are growing at like insane
Rapidly.
proportions.
Yeah.
Madrid and United have been there. Let's say
Yeah.
they're the two top global brands. Let's say.
Mhm.
Don't quote me on that. Or don't fact check me.
Yeah, they are actually.
I'll say Madrid. Yes, I'll say.
I
it.
agree.
No one said this right.
When it comes,
Oh my
No.
goodness.
when it comes to marketing, we're not talking about your play
But
on
that's the
field.
thing.
To come to marketing, United is one of
Playing
the
on the
biggest
field is a
brands
different
in the world.
situation.
It's a different
Most-
situation.
Most of the money.
We all knew that, bro.
Most of the money in football is not about like fan attendance and all this stuff. It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's
It's
like
The deals.
off the field.
Off the field,
stuff,
Yeah.
and
you know?
United is one of the biggest. That's why you guys are still surviving.
Italians,
Only reason.
why it's helped Roma, or I can't say too much about Milan, but
Mhm.
I imagine it's helped them too in this sense. Is
Well,
that
if
the,
you think about
the
it,
influx of money?
Pulisic kind of deal with the American, like finding a player that can represent. and
That's
stuff.
the
We
same
have
with Chelsea, yeah.
Musa as well.
Mhm.
Like those things are marketing wise, but
Yeah.
it sounds
Shirt
good.
sales.
The
Yeah.
shirts
Yeah,
in
of
America are making a lot of money,
Mm.
and that's,
Bank.
You
yeah,
see that?
Yeah,
That's where I have like all my issues, right? I think just to come back to the point I wanted to make, if I don't know how this ties in here, but how fast the American ownership, how fast they adapt to football actually depends on how much they're able to let go when it comes to capitalism. Like
What's
make-
their threshold for
making
loss?
money,
I
you
think
know?
that.
'Cause
Yeah,
it-
exactly.
'cause like
Capitalization.
right now, I'm not sure if they're like willing to let go of
That
this
money.
amount of that much
Yeah,
money
yeah,
they're
yeah.
making off the field.
Yeah.
So how fast they're able to grow and actually accept football and let football grow depends on how much they're able to let go in terms of monetary terms.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's the point. I wanted to make.
This is very, very good because it is something that Manchester United has been experiencing with the Glazers. They focus more on how much they are making of the club, that they don't really care. I don't want to say, but as a fan, I would say
It
they
seems
don't
like
really
they don't
care
care, yeah.
about the results on the pitch, and it is affecting our football game itself. Like, yes, marketing-wise, commercially, we're doing good. We're maybe not right now at the moment, but since the era of Glazers, the way they have transcended Manchester United globally in terms of marketing and commercial is very high, and that has not reflected, that has affected our football game itself. And this is also something with Messi in MLS right now. The
Yeah.
amount of commercial
The
money
eyeballs.
that you're
Yeah.
making, the eyeballs you're making
It's
off
ridiculous.
Messi being MLS is basically what the American wants. And
Yeah.
they can't do this in England that same way, that the way it works in America.
Yeah, because that's a growing market now in
Exactly.
the US for sure.
Of course, it's
But-
going to have that boom right now because it's
Yeah.
this new thing.
Right.
It's not
That's what they
new
tried
for
to
us,
do
you
in,
know.
Like,
Exactly.
I don't know if I can't speak on the numbers in Saudi Arabia, but that's the same thing.
the
there
same
with
thing
Ronaldo
there.
going there.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the thing is, I think the biggest source of income could be shirt sales and no pitch like match day like tickets are not. Like,
It's not
we
that
have,
much.
Like
Like
the
the
concerts they do on the stadium.
Oh
and
no,
all that.
no!
It's not many-
definitely
not many
shirt-
do that.
It's merch and shirt sales
Right.
and TV,
TV,
broadcast
licensing
rights.
rights, yeah.
It's not that much as
And licenses
That's the
too,
thing.
Yeah,
licenses
licensing,
for
bro.
games, and
Front of shirt
streaming,
sponsors.
sponsors, all those
Like
things.
Man
That's what
United
I
wants
called- yeah,
60M a year for that. Just to be
So-
on their front of shirt. Give me
Yeah.
16, we good.
But
You
why,
dig? Like, it's a
why
lot of
I,
money.
Sort of embrace the change for Italian football with American owners is because a lot of Italian clubs are in big debt.
Yeah.
The money isn't here like it is in England.
Oh,
And
yeah, for
Friedkin
sure.
did like Loki save Roma from
Yeah.
the shit situation.
Yeah, that
we
guy,
were
what's
in
his
before.
name? Elliot. Yeah.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was led by Gary Cardinal, like the guy who the money guy is. His name's Elliot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money.
No. No, his name is Gary Cardinal. That guy.
All these white people, man.
Yeah.
But in terms of like football culture and stuff, like for them, it's mainly a business. It's just like a
Yes.
source of income rather than like.
But it takes the soul out of it. It's like me and you, me selling something. It's like I don't want to tell you the price of it. Like, this is gonna cost you, because like it's the same with the clubs. Like we want our clubs to win. We know they make money, blah blah blah, but like we don't want to know about that. But we do not want us now knowing about it affect us.
Exactly, and this is a issue in the sense. Not, I don't want to say issue, but the only thing I can say is right now today's football game is more about, I want my kid to become a footballer so he can make a bunch of money. But back then, it was more, I want my kid to be a footballer because you're seeing what Ronaldinho and Okocha and Ronaldo and Messi are doing on the street, for the pride, for the glory. But right now, it's all about the income.
But you
I don't know, bro. I always wanted the money too.
Sure. But my point is, it has shifted to the income rather than the glory.
100%.
As money runs the game. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's just runs the game. And if I'm just being real, it sounds like cold and unpassionate. That's the word. Impassionate.
So cold because it's all stats and numbers.
No, but like if you don't modernize, if you don't update, if you don't stay with the time, you're going to be left in the past, and that's a struggle.
I love that point. You're going to be left in the past, right?
A lot of I don't want to say all, but a lot of Italian stadiums are all publicly owned. So like, it's a huge loss of income because they don't get the naming rights and this kind of stuff. The Stadio Olimpico, Mussolini built it or refurbished or built, like
so they don't even own that. So that's why
and like leases it to the clubs. The same in Milan, I think. It's probably
whereas San Zero,
that's the thing. We're trying to get a new stadium for ages, but now we're
because now that money is yours.
Yeah, because the good thing about it is at least now we have the power of like owning our tickets. Like sharing the stadium for the longest time with Inter was a pain in the ass, but like now with that thing, I think like things gonna change. It's gonna change.
Like control, like
if you
ownership.
See what Juve did like a few years back, whenever they opened the Juve stadium and stuff like that, their like economy changed a lot. Even if right now they're having a tough time with the new coach and whatever. I don't want to speak about Juve, but still, what they've done, you saw with good coaches and stuff like that. They've been running for like 8 years, like keep on winning and stuff like that. Like it's long and it was painful to see, but it's a way of understanding that their football and the football in Italy needed to change, and for them to do that and have the power to do that, it was a great thing. So we're gonna get there.
I think us as fans are finding it difficult to like, this is basically evolution,
right?
And we're in this place where it's like we don't want it to become this American thing where it's just all about the money and we lose the love of the sport,
of the game.
Noah?
Yeah, exactly. When we laugh because like everything you guys have been saying is like it's fragments of the thoughts, of everything. Just to wrap up on this area of the podcast today is I like to tie this to an analogy I have in my head right now. It's like more or less my career, right? So I used to be like I used to work as you call it independent in Italian, also like basically an employer,
a freelancer.
Before being a freelancer, right? So all I had to concentrate on was my arts. There was no like business side to this. Like concentrate on designing, doing that, and that's it, But as soon as I turned the freelancer, I have to think of the business side of things. It has to be sustainable. I have to be able to pay my rent, do everything, because I don't have a fixed salary anymore. So that takes away from your creativity. Because you have got the business side of things to handle as well. I got to a point where I was like all business. And
no odds,
was on its low, but I made the most of the money there at that point, So I think that's the point where these American owners are right now, like especially with Manchester United as the club, for example, right? So they're making a lot of money right now. They know the way of like extracting money from the club, right?
Yeah.
But the art is dying. You have to find the balance. That's what it's not easy to find the balance.
I don't know.
That would be the solution.
I kind of disagree because that's the business side of football has always been there.
Yeah.
And it's
been
not
prioritized
like
now, though.
What you went through is because you are a single entity doing this for yourself, right? Your art. You have your business side and you make the art too. But like in football, there's
you have to
people
delegate so much
who do the main business stuff.
Yeah.
The players, like your equivalent would be as if you were a player, because then they're the ones doing the art, on the field. But they've always but they've always had that. That's the thing. That's
never
been
left.
That's
Yeah.
They have more PR around there, right? They have to do more commercials now, more like business.
They don't have to.
They have to.
No, they
It's
don't.
part of the-
That's
have
kind of
to.
a good point. They do it. They
have to do
definitely
more.
more.
They
and
do
more.
more.
No,
compared
they
to
do
before.
more because they're like for the club, but for them, like they don't have to do that.
For the club, because the club has to make
Yeah.
more
They have to
from
make
them.
money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they make money for the
Yeah,
club, so they do
yeah.
more of this, So I'm not sure how much it takes from the art on the field, but I'm 100% sure they do way more than they used to do before.
Oh,
And the
for
club
sure,
is
for
way
sure.
more focused on this side. American owners are way more focused on the sustainability of the club from an economical point of view, rather than from the art of football point of view. How sustainable is this for the club, for football? How sustainable is this approach for football as a whole? Other than like how sustainable it is for the club. To focus on the club and how the club is going to be available for now to 10 years. But if football is not available, if the art of football dies between now and 10 years, you're not going to make money at the end of the day as well.
I guess it could also be seen in the World Cup being hosted in Qatar, despite all the the violations. Boris is laughing here because it's true. Yeah.
That was
there was
of money.
like low key a blind eye turn to the amount of people who
Oh,
died.
of course.
It was a major.
And that's putting I get it. Like if you host it in Qatar, they're gonna make they have a lot of money to donate to the FIFA cause.
Of course. What?
So for FIFA as a business,
Endless
it's good for them. But
Yeah, but what they all have in common, but I said besides FSG, because FSG, who owns Liverpool, have won the Premier League, have won the Champions League, have won the Europa. They've won everything. Out of all our owners that we've said,
Conference League.
I don't count that. I don't even count that for me. Like, even if we win it this year, I don't count that because it's like that's the third tier. The third tier of like no.
That's in the Conference League.
No, we are in the that's what I'm saying. I don't even count
I
it.
hope you win, just so we.
I'm not gonna count it. You can't say you're the champions of Europe and Real Madrid won the Champions League and you won the flipping conference and you call yourself a champion of Europe. But I'm saying what they have in common is that they've come into place and
just decent Roma though?
They've not won. They've not. Okay, we can say yes. You've come in to sort out the books, make more money out of the club. That's fine, but don't take if you're taking out, pull back in.
Exactly.
What's the recruitment like? I don't know what it's been with Roma. Like, how has that been? Strictly recruitment wise, yeah. Have you relied more on your academy, or you've also sought out elsewhere?
We've been seeking out a little more, but we have a couple academy players that are coming up, but it's not a really great talent.
Not like wow.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Do
you know what it is?
Out of desperation, I feel. Than we see this guy, he has potential. No, it's more like our current players are not performing, or are injured. Let's get someone who can maybe do something, But
yeah.
It's definitely more outsourced than homegrown,
Because the last both what's his name? Bas Berlusconi and Franco Sensi for Roma. Those are the last people who've won major trophies for your clubs respectively. And us was with Roman and United.
One like a few months ago,
The Super Cup.
Yes, Super Cup.
And the Serie A,
against Inter, but before against us as well, Juventus. So it's a huge thing, but it's a pin for us. Because at the end, the problem what we're facing right now is how the team is playing and having ups and downs all the time. We just lost against Torino. We got kicked out of the Champions League by a wrongful play from Theo, which is Hernandez, who's not doing great. These are the things that we need to sort out. How much do we have still to change for us to be okay? And I believe it's another thrown out season. We're just changing a coach. Now we have to have a system.
And you might change him again.
And
in May, he might leave.
I think Conceição is going to stay for a while, but the players need to follow him as well. Because our problem is not anymore the lack of player. Yes, we lack something in the center, like the midfield and stuff, but we already have a good rotation of players now. We actually a team on the sheet,
you look good.
Most of them are
we
loans,
look scary.
though.
We look scary. But the problem is the mental. Like, how come we play against the biggest team and there's like, hunger?
Yeah.
And we try to play. And
The
then we play
smaller
against, like,
teams?
medium low team,
And
and
then
we lose
lose.
because our key players like Theo and Leao. I don't know why people hate that much on him. He always been
Who Leao?
yeah.
He's
let-
lazy,
no,
bro.
Because he can be
He's a
way more
lazy
than he
player.
is right now.
Yes, but
He can
this
be
is
way more than
this is
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Like, this is the kind of players people need to understand. There's different kind of players. You can't expect a Leao to act like a Ibra or a Leao to act like another.
Ronaldo is going to be a beast.
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. He
yeah.
has
He's
all the
Leao.
skills,
The
but that's
character.
how he
Yeah.
is.
I know,
But
I
he-
know.
Put him in a system where he can do that thing and changing and playing like this. But for someone like Theo, we cannot afford. You have competency. You have all the things that make you understand you're one of the best like left back in your world.
course.
That if you see the plays, the 2 yellow cards he got on that game we lost and we were in 10 was as a teenager was playing.
Yeah.
We're not kids anymore. At this point, these players are 26 now. They're not like 20, 21 like back in the time. Like they need to put their
heart.
experience and the will to fight for these kind of games because we need it for later. Because then this summer, I think we might let them go. We didn't have much problem giving out somebody like Donnarumma for somebody like Mignon. If you see cost-wise, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Donnarumma left for 0. It still pains me today. But Donnarumma left for 0. But somebody like Mignon, we paid him like 16 million, something like that. Not even crazy.
Mignon is like one of your best
but
keepers.
it's
And
one of
he's
the
good.
best. Like
Yeah,
this is how I'm telling you.
apart from last game.
And the other
Watch
bit.
the highlights. I'll tell you.
Last two
saying-
games.
I'm saying out of like the performances he's been giving, he's been
no,
one
you're
of the key
definitely right.
players.
Yeah.
But this is what we want. We want players that fight and a coach that has an identity and idea.
Every club
the
wants
problem
that.
with
Yeah.
with the first one, not Conceição, but Fonseca, it was too light. And then towards the end, he started putting character. It was too late.
I have a question for you, like Milan, right?
Yeah.
So, other than João Felix, what other players have you guys got that you guys got on loan without like obligation to
A
buy?
bunch.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Paul
So,
Walker.
Abraham
I
from
I think
Roma.
Jimenez was the only one you guys
Yeah,
properly bought.
we probably
So-
bought, and we needed a player like Dino Striker for years.
So there's a follow-up
We
question
had
to this, right?
the last one we had that was proper was Giroud, but like how
Came from
old was
Chelsea.
he? No, it's not about.
No, but he was
No,
clutch.
Ibra, but
He was
still-
good.
But still, that was the experience. But this is the first time we buy a striker who has the potential to still be great and still experience.
But it's
Yeah,
look
but my
at
question
Yes,
was
yeah, go
something
ahead.
else, right? My question was like the amount of players that you guys got on loan without obligation to buy. They're a lot. right?
they operate like that. A lot of Serie A clubs operate on
Yeah.
loans
Yeah.
because they don't have money to spend.
Exactly, but he's talking about like the long-term game, investing in players. Like how can you guarantee you have that same team for the next 2 years when
They can't.
João Felix might come back? So how do you work? Like you might
Right
you
now,
might do good,
what
but next year you find
what
yourself in shit
what the
again.
management needed to do because of these signings that we saw, all of them happened in last week. If you see it.
Yeah,
All
last
of
week
them,
the window.
it was a rush because they understood. Oh, see how the players or how the team performed against Dinamo.
Right.
We lost the game.
Yeah.
It was very close to like putting us in a position where we are today,
Right.
where we lost against Feyenoord twice. And
Right.
why?
Back to
because
back.
because we didn't have the team back then, but now they try to like cover what I think they're realizing is that we don't invest in the players now, we might not finish the season at least fourth, and this is a big
It's a
money loss to not be in the Champions League next year.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, but like it's not a long-term game. Because me, honestly, like, if a
It's
team
not
like City,
because the money we would have get out of staying in the Champions League and out of like finishing the Serie A in a good place for maybe the Champions League would have the bank to do everything else.
awesome. So if that's the plan, then that makes sense. Obviously, so this team you have right now, that's not your long-term team. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
sometimes it works. You know, when you ride a
Yeah.
bike and your bike gets a puncture, you patch it up,
If
and you
João
go, you
Felix
keep
plays well,
patching,
Chelsea is definitely
patching.
getting him back. It's not gonna sell him.
I
for
don't
instance,
think
so
I don't think Chelsea is gonna sell Joe Felix.
if he plays well, I don't think so.
You guys have so many
For me,
players.
I don't know. The
need
thing
him
is,
because if he goes back to
Him coming
Chelsea,
for a few weeks
because
and
if he
go
goes
and
back to
stuff. I know the
Chelsea,
kind
he's
of
not
player.
gonna
We
find
don't
he's
need
not
him
gonna
like
find
that.
the time in Chelsea. He's not
We
gonna
don't
find
know.
the time.
Look,
Although, how do you know Milan actually wants to keep
they
him?
can't afford him, bro.
Bro,
No.
even though you don't
My
know maybe it's the
personal-
right person for the player. But anyway, I wanted to make a statement on something. All the things you've been saying about Milan right now, just while you were talking and everything, I just see Manchester United. because there's a lot of similarity in the. No,
Nah,
for
bro.
real.
No.
Like there's a lot
Don't
of
disrespect
similarity
Milan like
in
that,
the-
bro.
No,
Bro, get out of here, bro.
No, can you guys listen? Can you guys listen?
Get out of
Can
here.
you
Get out of
listen?
here.
Get out of
Can
here,
you
man.
listen?
Shit.
I'm done talking.
No. Right now, what needs to be fixed is to get somebody like Galliani. You know, like I'm not saying that. I'm saying the figure, not him,
Yeah.
but somebody who actually does that as a job.
Yeah.
Because, for example, Inter got Moratti, I believe, at some point. But when they changed their the company's head coach or whatever, like the Chinese, I believe, came and then like they changed.
Luignon, yeah.
Yeah, when that happened, they were quick enough to understand that
Li Yonghong.
you need somebody who knows the deal over there, because now we have a big gap between the coach, the administration, and something in the middle that is Latin that
Doesn't
we
work.
don't understand. That's the problem, because when we're facing hardship, there's nobody who comes here and protects the coach.
Oh yeah,
A
he
couple
gets
of
all the
days
shots,
ago,
and
like,
as he should.
yeah, last week, like our coach needed to go to Porto because he lost the president of Porto. He had a history there and stuff. Who came in to come in the conference press and stuff? Zlatan. But
Why?
he said himself, first things first, this is not my role, but I came here to do this because our coach is not gone. He's gone. But he understands that it's not his figure. Why? Because we need one. We most of our is the same thing, I believe, in Roma. The link between the coach and the administration need to be strong for them to have a future.
For every club,
The best example in Italy, for me, even if I don't like him, is Gasperini.
Gasperini.
Fucking Gasperini.
I like Gasperini. I don't know why
Gasperini's been
people
there
hate him
for
like that.
years, and he changed the game in his way so much. And he's been there losing, then ended up like winning.
But
like,
they
this
trust,
is crazy.
you
The
know,
trust, because
Until the wheels fall off.
and exactly, you need to give time, and most of the clubs don't have that time.
We don't.
Because
Football
before we
doesn't
have
work
powerful
like that. Yeah.
owners, now we don't have them. We need to have patience. It's hard to believe, but we do have to. We do need to have patience in the coaches we choose, especially if we pay them a lot. And for example, for Mourinho, I'm so sorry for Roma what happened, but I feel like he needed to stay longer.
Yeah. He was that
What they done after with De Rossi was shameful.
shameful.
What they needed to
for
do
an
is to
ex-player.
call him back.
Yeah.
What did they do? They brought another one.
And then they
who's-
let him go again.
Juric, that was to ex-Torino, ex-Verona, right?
Yeah.
And then another one again. Like
We did the
these,
same thing with Chelsea too. Should have called Tuchel back.
but that's the thing.
No.
For
They would
for the
never do
fans who
that.
see this,
Prideful Americans would never
it's
do that.
it's a shame, because the ownership needs to put their face in it by saying like, we apologize, we thought we did something, because that would solve a lot of the problems. Right now they changed everything without taking care of the fact that, oh, there are fans there. You know, they're the first one we need to warn. If those ownership, the American ones, had the possibility to be a little bit more upfront when they do mistakes, I don't think Italian fans and in general would have been this most rioting for like the things that go bad. I promise you.
One thing I also
It's
don't like
it's
about
because
these Americans.
they do so much, and then they lose their credibility, because you're showing us the decision you made in the summer,
Yeah.
the decision you made last year,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are wrong.
It's literally fool me once. Okay, shame
Yeah,
on
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Fool me
me
twice? Come on, bro. 3 times? Man. 4? Get out of here, man. You know? Oh, man. One thing I also don't like about the Americans is that they talk too much. Like, we never heard from Roman Abramovich. Never. Unless someone was getting sacked. You know what I mean? Like, we never heard of anything from owners. But I guess we're in the world where social media, everything gets out, blah, 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 blah. And it really annoys me, because it's a lot of negativity now. Because if you're not performing well, you're the worst. But if you're performing, it's a bit more quiet, and that's just the game we
But
play.
I believe with this thing, I'm so always talking about marketing and how like football is changing, because I believe most of the games right now are not really watched by many people. A lot of people watch the highlights.
Yeah,
And I believe they cut games in a certain way where the highlights are good. Why the football is changing a lot of like tackling football, these things and stuff like that. Because yes, it's fun for us to watch the highlights, but at the end you end up having a phased out understanding of how actually a team is playing. You know, and half of the people also come here and speak and stuff like that, like on podcasts in general, not here this one. But I'm saying in general, I feel like there's the same kind of feeling. We lose the people who sit down and actually watch the games and actually understand like moments in the team.
Attention span to watch it.
Yeah, because if
getting lower.
Also, the way the Champions League is now, this is exactly what happens. How can you follow these many games? You're going to end up watching the highlights and giving a false idea of what actually the team are performing.
But I don't think I've fully watched the Champions League match this year.
Me too.
I have.
No?
Maybe
No, I've watched one. I've watched one.
I have to be honest, maybe three.
Because you're watching one, you're like, oh, I want to see the other one. And no, I also want to see that.
Oh,
like, bro, you can't,
okay,
like,
in that sense.
how many
And
screens you
that's a
finna have
problem.
up at this time?
I believe it's a problem.
In that sense, 100%.
But I want to hear that thing you finna say about blaspheming AC Milan with United. Tell us. Expand on that because I want to hear you. No, I actually want to hear it.
I'm done. You don't want to
Bro,
hear it. If you wanted to hear it, you'd have been quiet while I was talking.
Bro,
But
it
you
was
don't wanna hear
banter,
it,
bro.
so
Calm
move on.
down, bro. This is banter. Chill.
Classic
Chill, bro.
United fan.
But let us know, what was that? Like, what are these similarities that you see highlighted in AC Milan's way of moving and structure that you see at United? Because I don't know what your train of thought is, but the minute you said it, like, what? I want to enlighten us on that.
No, bro. It's fine. There's no similarities. Let's move on.
No, surely there is because you said it. Come on, bro.
All right. Should we talk about FPL?
Now we're going to
You guys can.
we're going to the
get into that
FPL.
kind of slander now.
Yeah. Now we finna slander you for real. If you felt away before, you're gonna feel away now. What number are you on the log?
What do you mean?
I'm like, if you
For
felt
FPL.
away now,
No, I'm
you really
not-
finna feel away now.
No. That's not it. The thing is,
Yeah. No, what?
I am on that. So
Yeah.
that's just the situation. That's why
No, I
I
get
don't
it, bro.
wanna,
I get it.
um,
Yeah, but it's all banter,
long.
bro. It's all banter.
yes,
It's all
bro, come
banter.
on. I don't take it personal. You know me.
Yeah, but what number are you?
We're 15th. We're 15th.
No, not you. On the FPL, on our mini league.
I just checked.
on our league.
I think you're first, Melly.
Noah's
Noah
second.
second, and then you're third.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, even though I haven't like touched it in weeks.
You last.
You just
I'm still,
disgrace,
yeah,
bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Such
Even
a
though I
disgrace,
haven't,
bro.
I'm still catching up to Emmanuel. I'm still close behind him.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, you're disgrace, bro.
You're
Like,
still
it's
on
sad. It's not even sad to look at it. It's like,
But Manu
it's
was
so
far
disappointing.
Bro, exactly.
Like, it irks me. It makes me mad.
Bro,
man.
Bro, I told you guys.
I go
before.
I go to our group and I open and I go like Leon and I see that he hasn't even done anything.
Anything,
He
bro.
still has Saka, bro. Do you know how
Like, why do
how,
you
how
have
annoying it is?
Emmanuel got 77 points this week, bro. Emmanuel.
The
I
game
think-
is not over yet.
What
it's
I
not
think
over.
is that it irks you most because you know what I have. I've got all the transfers loaded up. I know you guys want those transfers. I've got my,
All the
all
chips.
my chips.
All
loaded.
his
You
chips.
just want what you don't have.
No.
Sit
It's
down
not
and
that. It's
Calm
not that. It's the fact that
Calm down.
it's just looking at it.
I
I'm
know,
like,
I get it, I
you
get
could do better, bro. Bro, do you know how many players you would have changed and you still have like 5 free transfers, but you've not used any.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't follow the Prem like that, so it got tough. I'm doing 2 fantasies for 2 different leagues, and I mean, I warned you guys at the beginning, like I'm gonna try, but no promises. But
I came into this week, like, this week was my bogey. Like, I normally structure everything, I calculate everything, but this week I was like, you know, when you get that number one, like, how did you know to captain that guy and triple captain him and get, like, how? And we say, these guys, they have a hack. We don't know, but that's how I went into this week. I'm like, you know what? This is my random week. I'm a Captain Clivert.
Game.
Yeah, not hack, but like, let me just do a random thing and see a gamble.
Wait,
I literally gambled
how many
this week.
How many points did he get again?
Who? Clivert.
Who'd you captain?
Yeah,
Clever.
4, bro. Like, they
No,
lost.
no. 2.
Yeah, he got 2 because I captained him. He got 4.
You know why he got 2? You know why he got 2? Because he was on the pitch. That was the only reason he got 2 points.
Yeah, because he was on the
Participation
pitch.
points.
Yeah. Like, this was my bogey
Participation,
week.
man.
Yeah, but yeah, like from now on, like I have my strategy. I mean, I've had it since game week.
But I thought you had your
15.
strategy today too.
No, but within my strategy, I've got 4 game weeks for bogey. This was my bogey.
Oh, this was one of your. Okay,
I have a
right.
strategy.
So,
I'm
so we're,
a
so we're
highlight.
expecting 3 more.
No, I have 3 game weeks. 4 game weeks where I can do anything I want.
Right.
And one of them is for like my gamble, and that was it.
Okay.
Didn't pay off, but that's why it's called
What's
the gamble.
the other 3?
You don't gotta worry about that. I'm gonna give you some trip strategies if you wanna know. Like that's what this section is for.
Well,
But,
since
like-
Emmanuel's not here,
Yeah.
I'll speak on behalf of Emmanuel for his team for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because I've been closely following Emmanuel. He's like, he was the last person in our close group, so it was like just the 5 of us.
Yeah.
Leon was the fourth.
I don't know why
Emmanuel
you were counting
You
you.
were
No,
fourth.
at a point. Yeah, you
At a
were.
point.
Damn
23
right.
weeks ago, you were fourth.
Put some respect on my name.
Emmanuel was fifth. But Emmanuel, he has been solid for the past 3 weeks. So
He's
just
been
look at his
following.
game. Look
Yeah,
at his
he's
I
team.
think I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
30 points behind him, though. Am I not?
50 now, bro. It's
Yeah,
fine, bro.
so how has he been solid and I'm still 50 behind?
No,
him?
because he
That's
goes on and off. He goes.
okay,
He really
okay.
goes on and off. He's
Yeah.
like you, but he's more competent.
At least he's got a
You-
full, at least he's got a full team.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm also last in my Italian fantasies, so I think it's just
Oh
me at
my
this point.
days, bro!
He said he was
Yeah,
focusing.
but
That's-
that's different reasons.
You
That's
guys
for
said he was
different
focused.
So that's the
Your
focus.
is last.
No,
Your
it's
focus
a
is
different, bro. It's just nonsense, bro.
Come on.
I can't talk about the Prem one, but the Italian one is just nonsense.
Oh,
Nonsense, bullshit, and like misfortune. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm
When
not
we
gonna get
started,
into that,
when we
though.
start, I think we were like game week 5. Dillian said to me, "My goal is to finish above Noah."
And it's my first year.
and that hasn't happened yet. But if I look at the table right now,
Close, 100 points.
he can. If the thing with Dillian, which I think he not that he ignored, but right now he's totally ignored it, and when he threw away sentiment, he became better. Noah came into it no sentiment because we told him don't put sentiment on
power.
anything. You know, don't think because Bruno Fernandes is your guy. No, he came in like that. Noah came in without that.
Milan came with 4 United players. How can you do that?
It's not. You can. By the way, you can have 4 United.
Yeah, you
players,
can.
so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that.
Teach him, bro. Yeah, bro. Shut.
That's cap.
Rookie
Anyway, the only thing is, when I came in, everyone was going for Haaland, which was a good move. But I
Yeah,
was
the
like,
first game weeks. Yeah, that was the
though.
play.
I was like, F that. So it was the first game week that Noah was able to use like Haaland to like gather all the
Shoot
points,
himself
you
up.
know,
Yeah.
shoot himself up and whatnot.
Rode the bandwagon,
The
man.
first 10 game weeks.
That's true, bruv.
Say, the first 3 game weeks, I was the first position above my little boy. It was just like 2. Wait,
Oh yeah,
Talking
yeah.
loud. I remember he was
Let me
talking
come.
loud.
I was in the first position, but just like it's this beginning.
Yeah, it's the
Few
beginning.
points,
It really
right?
doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah.
So when even after the Haaland, I sold Haaland already. I just had like more or less maximum 10 points above you, so you could
Yeah.
still pass. Yeah, you want to?
No, yeah, you could have.
At some point,
No, yeah,
Still
yeah.
pass me if you wanted, because I just more than I've got everything. I've checked it. I checked.
Bro, I checked too, bro. I checked.
So-
You're exaggerating that
But
thing.
let me tell you when I passed you, bro. When I passed you was when Palmer had the hat
But
trick.
you've always passed me. That's
but
the
with
thing.
like to a point where we have like 50 points of difference. That's what I'm saying. Like 10 points difference, like in game week could pass me. After I already sold Haaland, I was just like 10 points above you. I didn't
Yeah,
have
but that's
Haaland.
what I'm saying.
So Haaland
Dillian
did not cost
Dillian
me
made the
difference.
switch to throw sentiment out because his sentiment
Haaland did not
lied
make
with
the
his
difference.
team,
Bro,
but
you
his
can
team
say
is
Haaland made
15th, and he
Bro,
can't do nothing
Haaland
about it
didn't
now.
make the difference because I never had Haaland in a point. Exactly. That's why I said he made the difference
But
for you.
I'm saying that even after I sold Haaland, the difference between the both of us was a maximum of 10 points. And I can prove that.
Bro,
So
you're
let me
making it
finish.
sound
I'm
like-
finished.
Okay.
Let me finish. If it's a maximum of 10
Prove
points,
that. Prove that.
it's all here. Like you got
Show
you got the
me,
same
bro.
app, right? Open your app, you see it. I'm on mine, so you go to the same game weeks and we'll look at it together, right? So I'm saying 10 points of difference. You can pass that in a game week.
Bro,
Yeah, you can.
You
Of
can.
course you
So
can.
don't
You're
tell me,
making it
don't
sound-
tell me I got
Bro,
100 of
you
points with
are-
Haaland,
no, bro. You are saying 10 points, but you're not showing me any proof. By the way,
I'm showing
that
you.
aside,
This is
my
this.
point
I'm
is you're
showing
also talking like
I'm
you're also
showing you.
talking like you are not getting points that week, and I'm the only one who's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get points.
yeah.
to move
The
on.
thing about FPL, you're
also
all moving.
making
You're
points.
all moving
Yeah,
out.
But yeah, I'm
So
talking
even if
about
trying to get points. You're also getting points. as well.
100%. I agree, but I'm talking about the fact that you said, because you're trying to pin it on the fact that initially I was able to like go for because you didn't make the decision of getting Haaland.
But
I'm
Noah's
telling you,
point is the gap
even
wasn't big.
It wasn't there. The gap wasn't there. When I sold Haaland,
No, bro. The first,
Everybody
I'll take
knew.
the first 10 game weeks. It wasn't like that.
It was like 10 points
It wasn't
difference
like
between three of us. Everybody
What
knows.
are you guys saying? If I made a statement in game week 5 or something saying I want to be above him, that's
No.
my goal for this season. So what is the point that you guys are saying? It
Because
means that you've always been above me. With
I agree, but not with more than 10 points. How did Melly?
Oh, you keep saying 10 points.
But how did
Melly surpass me?
How did I surpass him?
Me then?
Because he
How
was
did
number
Melly
one.
surpass- We didn't have Haaland
No, we
anymore.
both had the same
We sold
players.
him. We both in the same
We
time,
both
sold him at the
benefited
same
from
time.
Haaland, so you can't say.
Ganging up the Chelsea.
Check your
No, because you're thinking of FPL like it's the Premier League. If you don't win, you zero. No, it's like we're all moving up at the same time.
My point.
We all benefited from Haaland here.
I didn't though.
You
That's
did.
what I'm
You might
saying.
have not captained him. You tell me you didn't have Haaland ever. This
Bro, I had Alan for 2 games. 2 games. 2 games. That was it. I
Okay.
had Haaland for only 2 games, bro.
and then
So you guys had Haaland for, let's say, 10 games, more or less.
so you're putting it on Haaland.
No, I'm just saying that in the first game week, you guys were able to grab the maximum points from Haaland.
Emmanuel
which
had
I
Haaland too.
didn't.
Emmanuel
We
had
all
That's
had
what I'm
Haaland.
saying.
I
Okay.
think we just said how Emmanuel's not as. Look, I understand.
Yeah,
Me and
but-
Emmanuel are in a different category.
This has nothing to do with Chelsea,
Haaland
Haaland
bro.
is not a defining factor. Haaland is not a defining
No,
factor. because
Emmanuel and I are the
had
defining
Haaland.
factors.
So how is he at fault?
No, but
Bro,
no,
you do
no.
that.
What I'm saying is,
It's 11
you
players
can't
on the
compare Emmanuel and I to you three because we're in a whole different category
Nah,
of like.
it's my first year. of
That's
fantasy.
not. I
Bro,
didn't say.
and I'm
Look,
proud
no,
of you.
no,
I'm happy.
Yeah.
of the
No
way
one-
you're
no
doing.
one
I will
saying-
say that I'm proud of you in that
I know.
sense. It's
no
your
one's
first
saying
year.
It's disputing that it's your first year and you're doing great. I'm saying you can't compare me and Emmanuel to you.
But
three
again, it's not a
because we're
crutch. We
different
don't care.
echelon Of like we're not as invested as you guys.
So
That's what I'm saying. It's not about first year or not.
Okay, that's why I'm pinning the fact also. Like he's got experience, Dillion.
Bro,
He's
I
a good.
started, my first game was last year. It's not like I've been playing it
Okay,
for like 5 years.
okay, but you still
Yeah,
got
it's
1 year of
different, yeah,
experience
yeah,
more
yeah.
than me.
No, but
That's
I,
it. but that's not the case here. The case here is that
It doesn't matter what you think, man. Guy.
you're redlining, bro.
Bro.
No, I'm joking.
Bro, the case here is that you can't pin it on Haaland because if it were just Haaland, then Emmanuel would be there as well. If it was just Haaland, he wouldn't surpass me. And after we sold Haaland, we're just like 10 points different. So you could have passed. There's 11 players on the pitch.
Yeah.
All of Saka had more points than Haaland at the point. You know, out of the 10 weeks that we had Haaland, he performed just 2 games. To be honest, the other points was average.
Nah, bro. Alan had
Check
like
it.
hat-trick,
Come.
bro.
Game week 1.
had
Come and look.
hat-tricks,
It's yeah.
bro.
Look at it. Game week 1, 14. Game week 2.
No, bro.
Game week. Look at the
Bro,
game week.
it's not
It's-
about
yeah,
that. You
it's
showed
hat
me the
tricks.
difference of our points between me and you. First game, where was the points whereby it was 10
Listeners,
points?
this is you can
It's
tell.
not
That's-
just ha-
Bro,
open
that
your
is
game.
what I want to know.
Then bring your phone. Open it.
No,
then.
show
Open
me.
it. I've got mine.
Now
Open
you
it.
will have this discuss.
Open
Listen,
yours.
you're both your
just not
your
to-
arguments
wanna
are
see
valid.
what?
You're
Open
both
your
it's
phone.
both valid.
Go to the
The
first-
argument is Noah is above Dillian, but Dillian wants to beat Noah. But
That's
again,
not-
it's a game of strategy and luck.
And he didn't
But
just-
also,
he said to pin it on Haaland, but it's 11 players.
No,
on
Yeah,
the
you-
team. And Haaland performed like 3 games perfectly.
Bro,
The other games were trash, and we knew that's why we sold him.
yeah.
That's why we sold him in the first place. Who sells Haaland?
Bro, I get it. All I'm saying is the points whereby you guys maximize on Haaland, it gave you guys enough points, and you were able to have those points. Yes, there are other players who also gave you points. And me, at that point, I was playing more with sentiments. That is why I felt like, oh, okay, by the time, like he said, by the time I was like, okay, no, I'm going to take away sentiments and play like a manager. Then I started understanding, started building up my points.
So you feel how Amarim feels, huh?
This is what I'm saying. So, but when you're saying,
stress.
"Oh, I was only like 10 points difference, I could have passed you," you're making it sound like you weren't gonna get any point that week, and I was gonna
No,
get
that's not what
points
I'm
and
saying.
move on, bro.
Noah understands
You're
that.
seeing it the other way around because, like, I understand the way you're seeing it. 'Cause, you know, it's like more of like a defensive mechanism. But the way
He has to put that shot in there.
Wait. But the way I see it is that I understand what you mean, and I'm 100%. I agree with that. But the way I see it is that Haaland is not the defining factor.
Bro, it's
Because
not
I could have.
about
Let me
Haaland.
finish. I allowed you to talk, right? So
Did
did I allow you to talk?
Okay,
This
guys,
that's what you're
I'm going to
saying.
interrupt here. I'm going to interrupt here.
I can't even talk.
Bro, you both talk a lot. You both been talking. So I'm going to talk. No, bro.
It's like a seeded mix. DJ,
I'm gonna
Same thing
interrupt
you're
here,
saying.
guys. I'm gonna interrupt here. Don't be getting like that because you both talk a lot. You guys are the loudest ones here in this podcast. I'm going to interrupt and pose a question to all of you guys about fantasy. Do you think any manager in football out there plays fantasy? Or is there some kind of conflict of interest? Like, he legally can't?
I think they can't.
No. What you mean?
To be honest, they can. But I'm telling you, I feel
They probably don't have time for
job
that.
is enough.
They don't have time for that. Yeah.
They're not even, it's not fantasy.
Yeah, it's real.
They have some manager coming with dark hair. They come out with white hair.
It's
Okay,
real.
so
It's
I
real.
don't think they have the time.
Yeah.
I think the players might.
Yeah.
The players might. Like, because there's some discussable things that might be happening.
Yeah. Wrapping this segment up, just a like a strategy for chips. If you don't play your assistant manager in the next week or two, you're going to forfeit one of your other chips. Because when you play an assistant manager, it runs for 3 weeks. So you cannot bench boost. You cannot triple captain. You can't use any other chip because it's an active chip. So if you're going to assistant manager, do it yesterday, bro. You know what I mean? Because now it's a bunch of blank game weeks coming up. And if you know what a blank game week, it means a bunch of teams are not playing. A bunch of teams are not going to play. So you need to have... So,
Like, are they recovery matches?
blank is 29. We blank in 29. And we have to see like the FA Cup and what happens with that. But like, this was your best time to do it. And we have double game weeks coming up. So you need to arrange your teams in a way where you know who's playing double game week. So you're putting yourself in a good position to have players who are going to be doubling. Because when you double, you get double points on those teams. So I'm letting you know from a strategy. That's the only thing I'm gonna let you in because I'm playing against you guys. The only thing I'm saying, play your assistant manager. We are in game week. What game week are we in right now?
27. Yeah, game week 27.
Okay. If you're going to play your assistant manager, you'll have it for 28. But no, you have to pick a manager who doesn't blank in 29. So you have to think about too many things now. Whereas a week before or 2 weeks before, you didn't have to think about that. You know you've got 3 weeks of games.
But you can only use your assistant manager for 3 game weeks.
Yeah, but once you press it active, it's active in a row.
Yeah, exactly. Mine is already active since last week.
Yeah, then you're good. Okay. Then you're good. I'm saying if you haven't played it, you're in a
Leon, can you hear though? Are you listening?
Because I know Noah hasn't.
Yeah, I haven't.
Noah hasn't. So now Noah has to think about the blank in 29. So he has to.
All right, I'm gonna get Holland then. I'm gonna get Holland. That's what I'll do.
So he has to think about
Get
that.
Mamush. Mamush is gonna be a better.
I'll get Holland and Marmouche, bro. I got the transfers for it, bro.
You don't got the money for it.
Let's round up with
that's a fair
games from the week. I don't know what games y'all watched, but the only game I watched this weekend was.
Wait, before we
the
get to
Chelsea
that, can
one.
I ask a question? So once your assistant manager's on, right, other chips are
You can't use any other
other
chip.
chips. Alright,
Yes,
cool.
correct. Yeah. You can see Noah stressing right now. You can see how quiet.
But
He's
back
like,
to-
Locked in.
He's been on the fantasy for like 20 minutes now. He's checking how many points I'm getting. He's trying to see how much I'm close.
I remember texting Dylan yesterday when you losing 2-0, and then I checked at the end and the match was 2-2. I
No,
know you watched the highlights. How was that?
The Bruno Fernandes goal, bro, that was amazing, and Ugate's goal too.
Yeah.
That was also amazing. I was watching the game. First half, saw them score a very nasty goal because we can't defend the
to
set
save your
piece
lives,
to save our life, bro.
Yeah.
Big problem for us. And then I saw the second goal as well, and I just turned my TV off, and I was like, I ain't got time for this. I got stuff to do, and I kept moving. And then it was Emmanuel who told me yesterday, because I met Emmanuel yesterday. He was like, "Oh, you guys drew the match." I was like, "Wait, we drew?"
Oh, you didn't know you had drawn?
No, bro.
Yo, they
So-
pissed you off that much. You don't even check.
Bro, for real, like I was
Yeah.
too busy, I didn't have the time for that. And Emmanuel was like, "Oh, you guys drew your match." I was like, "Oh, really?" This was how the conversation came. He came to me and well done. It was like, "Bro, Chelsea lost." I was like, "Chelsea lost." Then
Yeah,
he was
Milan
like, "Oh,
lost
you guys
as well.
drew."
Milan lost as well. We came back
Oh.
from paintballing, and then we started watching the game. Shorty's dad was watching AC Milan. Yeah, and they lost. I remember they scored was 1-1, and like maybe 3 minutes after, boom, 2-1. What did you think of that? Did you watch the game?
No, I didn't watch the game, unfortunately.
Highlights?
Because not even. The last like 2 games, I think before that was the Champions League one.
Yeah.
I'm still mourning for that. That's why. I didn't watch the Turin one. I saw just the score, and just to let you understand what I was saying before at the beginning about the performances against the weaker teams and stuff like that. This is exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like we play against a team like Torino. I'm not saying Torino is not hard.
It's ass,
hard.
yeah.
Yeah. But if you even see in the league, like where's Torino plays, I think it's bottom. Like they're not doing great.
They're not doing well right now.
They're not doing well, but we're losing because of how the team comes. I believe after a loss in the Champions League, you should do like Juve, Napoli and Conte. Conte has this thing where like it's a guarantee winning title when it comes to Serie A, because it's like, you know what, we don't have the team to be performing like in other cups than this one. Let's give the Coppa Italia away. So we can focus on the thing. We have time to train and put the players in and stuff like that. I believe also this is why Napoli didn't care that much about exchanging Crava when he left for PSG, just because he has a coach who can have players who gonna fight for him. You see? So I'm the kind of person who believes in you build a team to play all the competition. If I'm in the Champions League, I want to win the Champions League. If I'm this,
not sacrificing and saying, okay,
I want to win the Coppa Italia.
Yeah.
But if I lose one, you better know whatever I'm left, I'm trying to get it.
Yeah, fact.
That's why I think they don't have it.
That is that's the main similarity I was trying to say with Milan and United. The fact that when it comes to the big teams, we're like, yo, we're out there. But when it comes to the small teams, we just F it up.
Exactly.
That was the main similarity I was trying to draw.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, United. Yeah. That's facts.
Well, you guys don't want to be quiet for me to land my point. But moving on.
Roma. When did you guys play?
He said he wasn't taking it personally, though.
Hey, you said it. That's on the record, bro. So you can't admit.
We're playing. Is it tonight or tomorrow? We're playing Monza. So they're I think they're bottom of the league right now. They're just
in a good place.
taking goals like a stripper.
So you think it might be an easy game for you?
But you won on Thursday, so that was good for you.
That I don't want to respond to that. I'm gonna ignore Dillian, because I know if I say something, calling it an easy
we're not gonna
game,
jinx nothing.
We're not gonna jinx nothing.
But coming off the confidence of like
the
your
win,
last game,
the Europa,
I think there's a high
which was
chance
impressive. To be fair, very impressive. I was impressed. Like, I'm not normally impressed by the way Roma plays,
but see, that's the thing. We tend to recent years we've been playing well in the European competitions,
but
and then
the
in the league it's
a bit
tougher.
It's a bit techy.
In the same, like, under the same umbrella as what Boris and or what Dillian said about like Milan and United. That's our quote unquote big game, big time, big stage for us, where it should be harder. And then against the more mid teams and in the Serie A,
what about Chelsea? Did you watch the Chelsea game?
Did you watch the Chelsea game?
The Chelsea game?
I did watch the Chelsea
game. Highlights?
No. Okay. I watched it. And we played Aston Villa. Aston Villa just came from a 2-2 draw with Liverpool. So Emery.
No, Rashford.
Yeah, they just got Rashford, and
how did he do, by the way?
Well, Rashford,
Yeah.
2 assists. So
2 assists.
This is what I'm telling you about taking players who are hungry.
that first one, the first assist was
I think
right time, right place. It was a mistake, not a mistake from Gusto. He tried to clear it, and then Rashford was in the right place, came from across, and then he was able to. And then Asensio scored it. Basically, the same people as they both assists, same goal scorer. Asensio scored, and there was a mistake from the keeper. But like overall,
was it goalie?
Jorgensen.
You guys.
Yeah, we're complaining about Sanchez, but Sanchez cut his hair, so he's looking different. He looked, when you get a bold something, you think like you have this.
So basically,
but like overall, watching the game, just like we did not deserve to lose for the game we played, but the game was open. Like the game was so. This game was so open from both teams. We were just going in and out, and it's like. But we didn't deserve to lose the game. But we lost the game, and Chelsea's protest. The fans are protesting on Wednesday before the Southampton game because people are fed up with the ownership and are fed up with the sporting directors on the lack of aggression in the transfer market. We know what we don't have. Like we know, but it's not being addressed. It's not being addressed. And Joe Cole said it last week. We're buying a lot of young players, but there's not enough experience in the team. You need experience. And Joe Cole said, from the ages 21 to 24, as a footballer, you learn so much. These are critical stages in the development of a player where they need a reference point. There is no reference point in that young squad. I understand this thing of recruiting young because we see potential, we see the numbers, we see the stats, we see all of this. Okay, good. But there's the human element that you need. Pep said it. Pep had an interview before this game with it was a really good interview. You should check it out. It's like back then and right now, in terms of the relationship between a coach and a player, is so different. Right. It is so different. These kids or these players want me to be a father to them. You need that player relationship has to be a bit stronger because he says what affects the game. It's not what we do in training because they can train. These kids can train, but they need more of it. You know when your mom tells you, good job, my boy, and then you realize, why am I happy all of a sudden? Mm-hmm. Why can I perform all of a sudden? Because your mom just said, oh, good. Or she did, it's that other element of it, But you can't rely on that without experience in the team. Yes, it's my team. I love my team. But are they managing the club in a proper way? We're yet to see. But right now, the fans are fed up with this because we've never had to do this under Roman.
Are you fed up with the owners?
It's frustrating because it affects my life. You know how United affects you. It affects my mood. It affects me in that way. But I'm for like the young, but I also want the experience part of it because it's affecting my life.
Question for both of you, for your teams, for United and Chelsea as well. When was the last time you have like senators in your team? Like
senators?
Yeah,
3 seasons ago.
3 seasons ago.
3 seasons ago.
Who were the last one to leave?
The last big was Koulibaly.
Okay.
Thiago Silva. Yeah, Thiago Silva. Like I'm saying, statesman in each position. Like from the spine, back, middle, and 3. That was 3 years ago. Last year we just had it with Thiago Silva at the back.
Okay.
Before that, it was 3 years ago. If I exclude Thiago Silva, like at the back last year.
Okay, what about United?
I think it was Ole's season, which was probably 3-4 years ago, with like Ronaldo's and the Pogbas and the like of that.
Okay, for example,
Evans, right? He came back. He's still there.
Yeah, but Evans, you can compare the physicality.
Yeah. You can't compare.
With the
like a statesman has to be playing. Like if he's like, I get why they bought Evans, but when I say experience, it has to be on the pitch.
Yeah.
Okay, what I wanted
not
to...
just your age, because you're old. Yeah.
With this question...
Sorry?
Initially, he was on the pitch and he also scored goals.
Yeah, he wasn't playing like...
It's not
Evans.
It has to be regular.
Evans in United team is based on... Because there's no other person.
Yeah.
There's no other person.
With this question, I just wanted to make... how do you say? A comment about like how much crucial like players who have won before are crucial. For example,
very essential.
If taking Milan, we don't have to go too many years. The last time we won the Serie A. Who were the players who were there? Check the team now. You'll see most of them are gone.
Yeah.
First of all, before that, 2011, the last time we won, and then when Ibra and Thiago left together to go to Paris, that time. But a little bit before, all the Gattusos, the Inzaghi and stuff all retired. Ambrosini, all these ones retired around the same time. Was a big gap. Then what happened? Almost for 6 years, we didn't have nothing.
This reminds me of Mourinho. What he said.
Slowly, people are realizing that this is how you build a team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say just a personal story from when I used to play football. I in university. The last 2-3 years of that stage was a little bit different, because before I was one of the youngest in the team, ended up being captain or whatever, and then you come into a team where there are people who follows you, but you don't have the same vibes. I don't play with them. I don't hang out with them and stuff like that, because you're not like that. Think about a little bit how Lewandowski is doing in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Same. You're the player who's still there, who has an importance. But I mean, I'm not saying I'm Lewandowski and stuff, but that in the sense of your impact on the team is important. Yeah. But you don't really hang out with them. But Lewandowski is doing this thing where everybody's trying to be young. Yeah, I'm saying. But that's really important for a team, because the team needs to show to grow with maturity. Because when that doesn't happen, you know what happens? They don't follow the manager.
Yeah.
The manager.
Just to make a quick comment on what Boris said and kind of on what you said, Melly, is that the managers, they want them to be that kind of father role, to help guide them and raise them. But then in the team, the experience is kind of like that big brother role. Yeah. Because you have the youngins, but you still need a big brother who's going to be almost a mediator between the...
And it just makes the younger players play better. Yeah. Thiago Silva next to a Colwill played better. But now you have a Colwill and a guy, same age, they're both learning on the job. And that's affecting how I sleep, how I wake up. Bro, ask Dillian, bro.
I think it's also a thing of also responsibility and respect, because Colwill being one of the youngest people in the team right now and just being in control of our defense, and just not have anybody to look up to.
It's so essential, bro.
He's just playing.
It's essential in every field, bro. People have mentors for a reason, because mentors have went through. You go and ask your mentor and yo, how did you... this is how you handle it. I think it's the same in football, and I think it's the same in any career, but it's neglected and it comes with a price. You dig? And man, it's very, very frustrating. To wrap things up, you got something to say? No. All right, that's been us. We are the Bodega Babies Podcast. We thank you, Boris, for sharing your time with us, and you know what to do, listeners. Listen, subscribe, follow, give us a 5-star rating, as it helps the algorithm. And show us some love.
Thanks too for Boris again for coming out.
Thank you so much for having me. It was lovely. Whenever you guys want, I'll be.
You're always welcome.
And Dylan's dropping an EP end of March, beginning of April.
Yes. Don't be doing that.
Keep your ears.
You're spoiling it with what I did, man. Well, you heard it first on the Bodega Babies.
Yeah. That's been us. Your Bodega Babies Podcast. We out. Love. God bless.
Peace.